want you to picture this. You are in the final interview for your dream graduate school program. You've spent years getting to this point. All the late nights, the lab work, the endless prep, it all comes down to this particular moment. The committee members lean forward, look into your eyes, and one of them asks that deceptively simple question. So, tell me about yourself. And suddenly, your mind is a blank slate. You have about 90 seconds to prove you are the perfect fit. If you ramble, repeat your CV, or say the wrong thing, you could sink your own ship even before the real questions start. So, what do you say? This is hands down the most dreaded question you will face, but it's also the most important because your answers set the stage for the entire interview. But what if you had a simple 3-part formula that could turn this moment of panic into your single greatest strength? A formula that lets you tell a short, powerful story that makes the admissions committee see you as another qualified applicant and their next colleague. My name is Dr. Banda Khalifa. I've sat on other side of that interview table more times than I can count. I've seen brilliant candidates stumble over this simple question, and I've seen others use it to lock in their spot. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact formula that the most successful candidates use. We'll break down why it works, how to adapt it for a competitive PhD, DrPH, or a master's program, and I'll walk you through a complete example so you can make your own. By the end of this, you won't be afraid of this question. You'll be hoping they ask it, and they will. So before we even get to the formula, you have to understand what's really going on when they ask you this simple question. Tell me about yourself. This is not a throwaway icebreaker. The committee already has your CV, your transcript, and your statement of purpose or personal statement. They know your grades. What they don't know is you. They are using this question to check 3 boxes. First, your communication skills. Can you organize your thoughts and speak clearly under pressure? Graduate school is a marathon of writing grants, publishing papers, and presenting at conferences. Being able to articulate your ideas is non-negotiable. If your answer is a rambling mess, this is a major red flag. Second, your professional focus. Are you just a student, or do you see yourself as an emerging researcher or a leader? They want to see maturity and self-awareness, that you actually know what you are signing up for. And finally, the all-important fit question. Can you actually picture your work working in their team for the next 5 years? They are looking for a story that connects your past to their program in a way that just makes sense. Trust me, this is exactly where so many people crash and burn. The most common mistakes I see or have encountered so far is a group of applicants who are CV read alouds. This is where you just list your jobs and projects in order. Something like, first, I went to University X, then I did a project on Y. They've already read your CV or your resume. This is just bores them and shows you can't build a narrative. And the second group of students provide what I call the origin story. This candidate starts way too back. I was born in a small town and I've always loved looking at the stars. A quick, relevant personal touch can be fine. But if it's not directly tied to your research journey, you're wasting your time. And the last mistake is what I called the overshares. This is where things get really awkward. They start talking about narrative experiences with old advisors or getting way too personal about hardships. Resilience is a great quality to show, but this isn't the time or place to create the negative vibe. And then at times you may have somebody who just rambles throughout this question. This is the most dangerous one. You get nervous and just talk. You jump from topic to topic with no clear structure. It makes you seem unfocused and eats up precious time you could be using to impress them. Your mission in this question is to avoid all these traps by telling a professional, research-focused story that's both authentic and strategic. And the way you do that is with the present, past, future formula. So what is the present, past, future formula? This framework is so effective because it's logical. It's easy to remember under pressure, and it automatically builds a great story. It tells them who you are now, shows them how you got here, and then points directly at their program. So the first part is the present. This is your 20-second professional snapshot. You don't start in the past, you start right now. This immediately frames you as a professional and tells the committee exactly who you are in this particular moment. Your first sentence should be a tight summary of your current role and research focus. Think of it as a professional headline. Here are a couple of examples. Suppose you're applying to a program in ecology and you've been asked to talk about yourself. The present component of your response goes like this. I am an ecologist by training, and I'm just finishing up my master's, where my thesis focused on using molecular methods to quantify how soil fungal communities respond to elevated atmospheric carbon dioxide. Or for example, if you're a neuroscience applicant, you could say I'm currently a research associate at the Banda Foundation, where I analyze clinical trial data for new Parkinson's therapeutics, which has already solidified my interest in translation neuroscience. Or if you're a computer science graduate, you could say I just graduated summa cum laude with my bachelor's in computer science. My honors thesis was focused on developing new algorithms for data compression, and the project actually won our university's award for undergrad research. See how packed with information those are. They state the field, the current status, and a specific impressive research focus. You've immediately set the tone as a serious, focused researcher. The second part is the origin story, or the past. Now that they know who you are, you briefly go into the past to explain how you got here. This is not your life story. It's a carefully chosen narrative of one or two key experiences that led you to your present statement and show off your key skills. This is where you tell a mini story. Don't just list a project. Explain why that project mattered. A great way to do this is with an implicit start method. Talk about the situation, the task, and the action you took, and the results. And here's a pro tip. Include a story of resilience. Science is 99% failure. Showing that you can take a hit, learn from it, and keep going is a massive green light for most programs. So let's build on our ecology application story. So you've given your present already. Your past would be like, my interest in global change really took off during my undergrad research. We had an experiment that completely failed on the first try because of contamination. Honestly, it was very frustrating. But I worked closely with my PI to troubleshoot our methods, and I ended up learning so much about meticulous experimental design and, frankly, about resilience. That mentorship was huge for me. We refined our protocol, and the project eventually became a co-authored poster at a national conference. That experience taught me more than lab techniques. It showed me how to handle the challenges that are built into science. You see the difference? It's not just I did a project. It's a story with a challenge, failed experiment, an action, work with my PI, and a positive outcome, a poster, and a lesson in resilience. You are showing them you have the technical skills and the mental toughness for a PhD, not just telling them. The last part is the future. This is where you answer questions like why them and why here. This is the most important part of your answer. This is where you connect your entire story to the program and answer the silent question in the room. Okay, so why are you here talking to us? This section absolutely must be tailored to the specific program and the professors you are there to see. This means you need to do your homework, read their recent papers, know what their labs are working on right now. Your goal is to show that your entire journey has logically led you straight to their doorstep. Your future statement should name a professor and explain exactly how your skill will help their work, while also mentioning what you hope to learn from them. So let's finish up our example with the ecology story. So now I'm really eager to apply these skills that I learned to a more complex questions, which is why I was so excited about this program and Dr. Banda's work in particular. I read his recent paper on the interaction between carbon dioxide and nitrogen deposition, and it clicked with everything I'm passionate about. I'm really excited by the chance to learn and advance isotopic tracing techniques I see here. I really believe my background and research are a perfect match for this group, and I'm confident I could be a valuable member of the team. That ending is incredibly powerful for a couple of reasons. It shows genuine interest by naming a professor and a paper. It clearly states what skills you bring and what skills you want to gain. And it closes with a confident statement of fit. You've just made hiring easier than it would have been. So let's put all the pieces together. Imagine you've walked into an interview and they ask you, so tell me about yourself. You take a breath, smile, and you say something like this. So you're present. I am an ecologist by training, and I'm just finishing up my master's, where my thesis focused on using molecular methods to quantify how soil fungal communities respond to elevated atmospheric pressure. I've become really passionate about understanding the microbial engines that drive ecosystem response in global change. My interest in this field really took off during my undergrad research. We had an experiment that completely failed on the first try because of contamination. Honestly, it was frustrating, but I worked closely with my PI to troubleshoot our methods. That experience showed me how to handle the challenges that are built into science and solidified my decision to pursue a career in research. So now I'm really eager to apply these skills to a more complex questions, which is why I was so excited about this program and Dr. Banda's work in particular. I read his recent paper on the interaction between carbon dioxide and nitrogen deposition, and it clicked with everything I'm passionate about. My experience with fungal communities analysis means I could hit the ground running, and I'm also excited about the chance to learn and advance isotopic tracing techniques you use here. I really believe my background and research are a perfect match for this group, and I'm confident I could be a valuable member of the team. So this whole answer takes about 90 seconds. It's professional, it's compelling, and it tells a great story. It screams expertise, resilience, and a clear vision for your future in their program. It's the perfect start to your interview. Okay, knowing what to say is half the battle. Delivering it well is another half. Here's a 3 quick tips to nail it. Bonus tip number 1, practice, don't memorize. You want to sound natural, not like a robot reading a script. Write your answer down in bullet points, not full sentences. Then practice saying it out loud, over and over again, using slightly different words each time. Time yourself. You're aiming for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes sweet spot. Record yourself on your phone and listen it over and over. It might feel cringy at first, but trust me, it works. The goal is confident authenticity, not robotic perfection. Bonus tip number 2, have a core answer but swap up the future. You're probably interviewing at a few different schools. The good news is you don't need a new story for each interview. Your present and past sections would stay about 90% the same. It's the future section that you must customize. For each interview, swap in the right professor, their research interest, and the techniques relevant to the lab or the research team. This shows each school that you're serious about them. Bonus tip number 3, sticking to the landing. So after you deliver your last line about being excited to contribute, just stop, smile, hold eye contact. You've answered the question beautifully. That confident silence puts the ball back in their court and invites them to follow up on one of the awesome things you just mentioned. You've just successfully set the agenda for the rest of the interview. So there you have it, the present, past, future formula to turn tell me about yourself from a question you dread into your most powerful asset. By starting with a sharp present snapshot, telling a great story from your past and tying it all to a well-researched future in their program, you will absolutely stand out. Remember, the interview is your one shot to show them the passion, resilience behind your application. They want to see that you have what it takes to become their next great colleague, and this formula lets you do that. If you found this content helpful, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe for more guides on PhD or graduate school application journey. And now I want to hear from you. What other interview questions are giving you anxiety? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll read all of them and I'll use your ideas for future videos. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your interviews, and I'll see you in the next one.